Imagine you could make a copy of your entire supply chain. Every factory, every warehouse, every truck, every flow of product, running live on a screen in front of you. And imagine you could break it on purpose. Close a port, double the demand, lose a supplier, and watch exactly what happens without a single real box being moved or a single real pound being spent. That is not science fiction. It is called a digital twin, and it is one of the most powerful ideas in modern supply chain. I am Maya, and today we make it make sense. So what is a digital twin, really? A digital twin is a living, virtual model of your physical supply chain. The key word is living. This is not a static map or a one-off spreadsheet model that is out of date the moment you build it. A true digital twin is fed by your real data, your actual inventory, orders, capacity, and flows. So the virtual version mirrors the real one and stays current as the real world changes. Think of it like a flight simulator for your supply chain. A pilot does not learn to handle an engine failure by waiting for one on a real plane full of passengers. They practice it safely in a simulator again and again. A digital twin lets you do exactly that with your supply chain. Try the risky thing in the virtual world first. Why does that matter so much? Because the supply chain is too complex and too expensive to experiment on directly. You cannot just try moving your distribution center to see if it helps. You cannot just test what happens if a key supplier fails by waiting for them to fail. The cost of learning by doing in the real world is enormous. The digital twin moves that learning into a safe space where mistakes are free and you can run 100 experiments before breakfast. So what do people actually use a digital twin for? Let me give you the main plays. The first and most common is scenario planning and what-if analysis. This is the heart of it. You ask questions you could never safely ask in reality. What if demand in this region jumps 30%? What if we add a second warehouse here? What if lead times from Asia stretch by 2 weeks? The twin runs each scenario and shows you the consequences on service, on cost, on inventory before you commit a penny. You stop guessing about big decisions and start testing them. The second is network design. This is one of the highest value uses. Where should your warehouses be? How many should you have? Which customers should each one serve? These are huge, expensive, long-term decisions, and getting them wrong cost a fortune for years. A digital twin lets you model your entire network and test different designs. This many sites in these locations against your real demand and cost data to find the structure that genuinely serves customers best at the lowest cost. The third is resilience and disruption response, sometimes called wargaming. You use the twin to rehearse disasters before they happen. What is our plan if this factory floods? If this border closes? You play out the disruption in the twin, test your response options, and find the best one in advance. So when the real disruption hits, and it will, you are not panicking and improvising. You are executing a plan you already stress tested. That is the difference between resilience and luck. And the fourth is continuous optimization. The most advanced twins run alongside the live operation, constantly looking for a better way, a smarter inventory position, a more efficient flow, and flagging it to the humans. The twin becomes not just a planning tool you visit occasionally, but an always-on advisor. Now, where does AI come into all of this? Because a digital twin and AI are a perfect partnership. The twin is the virtual world. AI is the brain that makes it powerful. AI helps build and maintain the model, keeping it in sync with reality. AI runs the simulations, and crucially, when there are thousands of possible scenarios, far too many for a human to test by hand, AI explores them intelligently and finds the best options for you. Without AI, a twin is a sophisticated sandbox you have to play in manually. With AI, it actively searches for the answers. The twin asks what could happen. The AI works out what you should do. Let me make it concrete. A company is deciding whether to open a new distribution center. The old way, they build a business case in a spreadsheet full of assumptions, argue about it for months, make a multi-million-pound bet, and find out if it was right 2 years later. The digital twin way, they model the new center in the virtual network, run it against real demand patterns, real costs, and dozens of demand scenarios,
and see, before committing, how it performs in good times and bad. They might discover it is brilliant. They might discover that a different location is far better, or that they do not need it at all. Same decision, but now made with evidence instead of opinion, and tested against 100 futures instead of one hopeful guess. But let me be honest about the limits, because a digital twin is seductive and it can fool you. First, and most important, the twin is only as good as its model and its data. It is a representation of reality, not reality itself. If your assumptions are wrong or your data is stale, the twin will confidently simulate a world that does not exist and lead you to a confident wrong decision. Garbage in, garbage out, again. Second, building and maintaining a good twin takes real effort and investment. This is not a quick win you set up in an afternoon. It is a capability you build. And third, beware false precision. The twin will give you a beautiful, exact-looking number. Treat it as a well-informed estimate to guide judgment, not as gospel truth. The map is not the territory. And so, as always, the human stays in charge. The twin is a decision support tool, the most powerful one in the supply chain arsenal, but it supports a decision, it does not make it. You frame the questions worth asking. You sanity check whether the model matches your real-world intuition, and you own the final call, weighing the twin's evidence alongside the things no model captures: relationships, strategy, judgment. So how would you start? Without trying to model your entire global operation on day one, start with a slice. Pick one important, well-bounded question, a single network design decision, or the resilience of one critical product line, and build a focus twin to answer just that. Prove the value on something concrete. Make sure the data for that slice is solid, because the twin lives or dies on data, and grow the twin outward from there as the value proves itself. You do not boil the ocean. You build the simulator one cockpit at a time. Because here's the big idea. A digital twin changes the fundamental question of supply chain management. It moves you from react to rehearse, from explaining what went wrong after the fact to testing your decisions before you make them and rehearsing your disruptions before they strike. In a world that throws a new shock at supply chains every year, the ability to practice the future safely is an extraordinary advantage. So let's lock it in. A digital twin is a living virtual model of your supply chain, fed by real data, a flight simulator for your operation. You use it for what-if scenarios, network design, disruption wargaming, and continuous optimization. AI is the brain that builds it, runs it, and finds the best answers across thousands of possibilities. But it is only as good as its data. It demands real investment, and the human owns the decision. Start with one focus slice and grow. This is territory 4 of the 5 where AI is transforming the supply chain. If you want to explore building this capability, our full course at Supply Chain AI Pro walks you through it, and the free resources are linked below. I am Maya. Stop reacting, start rehearsing. I will see you in the next one.